What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Tombs, entitled Savage Gold. This is released on Relapse Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Brooklyn, New York, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very dark and bleak hybrid of many, many different musical stylings. Some styles that come to mind would be probably black metal, post-punk, post-metal, and even some death metal instances in certain aspects of their music. Honestly, Tombs is a band that's very, very hard to classify, but whatever kind of music styling Tombs wishes to refer to themselves as, they can make anything work and utilize to their full advantage. I fell in love with this band the first time I ever heard Gossamer from their debut Winter Hours. I thought that album was just sensational. Not only did I love that song, but I loved everything else about that record. Just the lyrics, the music, the vocals, just the overall atmosphere and chilling vibe that you get when you listen to that album. I really, really love that. Then a couple of years later, they came back into the fold with Path of Totality. Chaos Reigns. Anytime I listen to that album, those are the first opening lyrics of the album, Chaos Reigns. And indeed, there was a great amount of chaos on that record. I really, really loved how fearful and how devastating that particular album is. I really, really loved how much more fearful and how heavier they got from that one particular album. I mean, it just sounded darker, more evil, and more bleak. And really showcases why Tombs are so amazing at what they set out to do. Now, it's been a couple of years, and we have the third full length under the Tombs banner entitled Savage Gold. If I'm not mistaken, there's a little bit of a revamped sort of lineup of sorts. There's a new second guitarist added to the mix. There's a new bass player, I believe. And from what I understand, Eric Rutan, whom you may best know from bands like Morbid Angel and Hate Eternal, is behind the production and mixing of this album. I was very interested to know how he would utilize his production skills with Tombs. And there's only one way to find out, and that was give Savage Gold many repeated listens. It's 10 tracks, and it clocks in at around 57 minutes in length, and pretty much it's the usual standard for a Tombs release. This isn't anything that you should definitely skip or fast forward to. You should definitely listen to this album in a distraction-free environment. You should have your headphones glued to you pretty much, and just be serene in your surroundings when you listen to something like this. And it starts off with the song Thanatos. Of course, you would think for a band that delivers such crushing music, you would think of a proper way to start a record, and they do so with Thanatos. And I think it's just insane how this album starts off, and how things get led on throughout the entire record. I want to go back to the production mixing aspects of this album. To me, Savage Gold is probably the most clean and the most polished I've ever heard Tombs sound. Normally, I'm not used to hearing Tombs sound so clean and perfected. I would expect a little bit of darkness and a little bit of a muddy sort of vibe in certain instances. But with Savage Gold, I can hear things a lot better. I can hear the guitar work a lot better. I can hear the drumming a little better. It sounds a lot more comfortable, an almost sort of death metal sort of aspect to this album's production. But in any sort of way, I think Tombs make this production style work. They utilize it to their full advantage, and they definitely know how to deliver a very solid performance when it comes to this album's production style. Now let's get on to the music itself. Listening to riffs on a Tombs album is basically equal to pretty much getting put through a wooden table. It has that force going on, and you hear that very plentifully throughout this entire album. Not only on songs like Thanatos, but you have songs like Death Tripper and Edge of Darkness. You just get some amazing guitar work going on here. The double axe wielding that's being done here just really sounds awesome. You definitely get that almost neurosis sort of edge in certain moments of the guitar work. And then of course you have the black metal aspects of this band. You get some really nice little tremolo riffs going on in certain instances. I think those riffs are really incredible. And again, it shows you that this is a band that definitely prides themselves in writing some really creative and solid music. Bass guitar, I think the bass is really nicely done. It's warm. It has a good tone to it. I love the way that it has a rattling sort of effect going on here. I definitely enjoy the fact that the bass has a nice balance throughout this entire album, and it just makes the overall atmosphere and experience of listening to this album that much more devastating. Um, Moving on to the drums, pretty much the typical kind of drum performance you would expect from a Tombs release. You're gonna get a lot of well thought out variations. You're going to get some nice double bass, some incredible blast beats, some good fills and rolls going on. This drum kit is utilized to its full advantage here, and I really love the way that this drummer handles himself here. He makes it an effort to make this journey worthwhile, and it really does sound amazing. I love this drum performance. And now we get on to the vocals. Over the last couple of years, I've considered Mike Hill to be one of my favorite vocalists in the entire world of extreme metal. And Mike Hill is just so diverse and intelligent when it comes to the delivery of his music and his lyrics. I love his approach and his style. He has an incredible growl and roar to his voice. It's very powerful, and it commands your attention so easily and so instantly. But another thing that I love about Mike Hill's vocal performance is the fact that he is an amazing singer. He has a great croon to him. That's once again where you get almost a post-punk sort of vibe in his vocal stylings. I mean, going to songs like Echoes and Severed Lies, I just think his vocals on those tracks are just absolutely bone-chilling. I love his emotion in his vocal stylings, and like the previous record, Path of Totality, I think he really delivers some incredible lyric writing and songwriting going on. I mean, I want to say on the last track, Spiral, there's this one lyric in on the album that really makes you think. And when you feel the darkness calling, how will your final thoughts assemble? Basically, a good little quizzical thought to think of when you listen to this album. Just some really thought-provoking lyrics, and I love what he does with the lyrics. They're just amazing. So overall, this is another really amazing album within the Tombs discography. I think they are one of the best metal bands to come out of the state of New York. These guys know what they're doing. They're incredibly passionate about their craft, and they just deliver something so moving and yet so devastatingly heavy. I mean, if you're into Winter Hours or Path of Totality, you're gonna love Savage Gold, excuse me. I think this is a really amazing record, and it definitely could be one of the best of 2014, I'd say. So if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Thanatos, Seance, Echoes, Death Tripper, and Legacy, and Severed Lives for Mike Hill's vocals. His crooning vocals are just amazing. So I'm going to leave you a link in the description box to the Tombs Bandcamp page where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. It is available digitally, through CD and 2LP vinyl, limited gold colors. I believe all of the D-sides have a special sort of etching on them, so if you're into that sort of thing, definitely make an effort to get it. So again, the album is Savage Gold by Tombs. This is released on Relapse Records. Definitely check this out. And I'm going to give this a very strong 8.5 out of 10. Really awesome album from probably one of the best bands coming out of New York. So support Tombs. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks all for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until the next time, Army Ho out.